Hi guys, here I am doing a quick video review of the Panasonic TA1. There you go, there it is. This arrived yesterday. You may have seen the unboxing video I did. I've had it for about 24 hours now and I've been using it and I've been out and about, and first I've got to say I'm actually quite impressed with it. There are a few little niggly problems which I'll cover later, but overall excellent little camera, and with some quite nice features. First thing is, this starts up very quickly. So I turn that around to the camera. Okay, you can see it's off now, and I'm just going to press the on button now, and there you go, straight up, ready to start straight away, which is pretty good. We've got a stills camera which does 8 megapixels. Now normally I would take it this way facing the camera, but I've got a large window behind, so there's a lot of light coming in, so it could probably be bad. So I'm going to turn it around and you can have a picture of me. And you'll see how that looks. Now there's 6 buttons on the back, as I described yesterday. You've got you can see there, a little tiny play button. You've got your record button, and you've got your still camera button there. At the bottom you've got your light, which is actually a really great feature. Puts it above a lot of other cameras for shooting in the dark. So what I'm going to do now is turn it on, and you can see there it is. I did some filming in a dark room last night, and it does work, and it does highlight your face or the subject you're shooting. I can't think how often you can actually do videos in the dark. But in nightclubs, I think it might be quite useful for little interviews or in low light places. Hi guys, here I am with the camera. As you can see, it's a very low light situation. So what I'm going to do now is reach behind and hit the light, and there we go. Got really bright light that's actually dazzling me quite a bit. It's pretty dark in here. Got the blinds all the way down, and there's the light on. And let's find the light button again. That's the light off and light on. So you can see it's pretty good in low light situations. I can move around and picks out subject. So that looks like a bit of a plus point. Let's go and carry on with the review. Then you've got your little menu buttons there, which is menu and set. Top buttons. Top button there is telephoto, then wide angle, and final button is a trash can, so you can get rid of all the videos that you don't want. Battery seems to last quite well. I've been filming all day with this, doing little 5-minute videos or 2-minute videos, taking photographs, and I've only lost 1 bar. Also what works well is the webcam part of it. Plugged it into Skype and it came straight up. So what I plan to do in this video is I'll do another few minutes telling you about the camera. I'll then go back and I'll record some video with this camera sat here, talking about a few little problems with it. I'll then go back into the PC and I'll edit it together. I'll show you some photographs. I'll show you some video I took earlier on today, and I'll do a screen capture of the webcam, so you get a full view of all the features. Generally speaking, I think I've already said, I quite like it. So anyway, let's get started with this. What have you got on the camera? Well, you've got the on-off button right at the top there. As you can see, works quite well. Then you've got this little slidey bit, which is the battery and the SD card. You've got the AV button there, which has got a little lip to open that up, which you've got your micro USB port there. You also get some cables to plug it straight to the TV, and down here you have the USB port. Now this is one of the problems, and you can see there's actually nowhere to get your finger in there, so it can be quite difficult to open, and I'll show you now as I fiddle with it. Eventually you can ram your finger in there and open it. When that's open, you can take out the USB. So there you go. Not as good as the flip. The flip works much better than that. I think the problem a lot of people are going to have is they will have that like that, and then they'll try and open it by forcing it, and then that's going to break pretty soon. So that's the last time you'll see me do that. Strange that the top one's got a little slot for your fingernail, the bottom one hasn't. What other problems we got? One other problem is this little wrist strap. Well, for me it's a problem. I find it too small. If I put it on and I hook it around, it's quite difficult to move and get all the buttons at the back there. Can't really see that if I do it that way. So what I've found I've been doing is just wrapping it around my hand and using it. Probably could do a slightly longer one. Now, normally there's two issues with these types of cameras. Microphone, and also not being able to see what you can cover, what you're filming if you're filming yourself. Actually, both these are sort of overcome with this. If you notice now, I'm not wearing my lapel mic. That means I'm not recording it on my voice recorder. Normally, on this, with the flip side, if I was doing it with a flip camera, I would be recording it. I did record an earlier video, and I did use the voice recorder, but I found I didn't need it. The sound coming from that this picked up in a room like this, there's a bit of an echo, but that's basically due to Spanish design. I've got marble floors and I've got hard walls, so if you've ever been in a Spanish house, they all sound this echoey. So that's one problem. Now the other problem you normally get is you can't actually see what you're filming. So when it's facing you, you haven't got a clue. Now, if I hold it like that, you can see the reflection from the front. When I actually set this up to film the first time, much to my surprise, I could actually see my reflection in the front of the camera. So I was able to line up just from my reflection, just make sure my head was where the lens was, and it worked fine. Save sticking a little mirror on the front, or sticking a mirror behind, or running it through your TV. So that's quite good, quite like that. There's lots of other little functions I do like with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off this camera and I'm going to record this. Now, one thing you'll notice is the video camera I'm recording with at the moment, the Samsung, is recording in 4:3 and it's going to record in 16:9. So there will be a bit of a difference. There's a reason for that, and it's to do with the Samsung MX20 and a bug it's got. So don't get one of those. Since I've got this, I've now determined to actually go and replace my little Samsung there. It's served me well up to now, but having seen what this can do, and I think it's actually better than my little Samsung. It's got certain things that are different, but I'll go through that in a minute. So let me just switch the camera over. As I explained before, there's a reflection from the front of the camera. Now, that helps me sort of line up exactly where I am. It's not very clear, it's a little bit abstract, but I can see my shirt collar, I can see my neck, so I can assume that my head's above my neck. If it's not, then there should be a #1 hit on YouTube. Now, there's a few differences. Obviously, we're looking here at a $169 camera, or £149 camera if you got it in the UK, or as was the case with me, which I explained in the unboxing video, I got a really good deal from Amazon because they messed up, so it cost me about £103 I think, which was about the same price as a Bloggy, and I think this is actually quite a lot better than the Bloggy. You will notice there are some differences between the last video which I filmed with the Samsung MX20 here, but that's sort of technical, that's due to technicalities. Basically, look at the size of the lens on that compared to the size of the lens on the Panasonic, the TA1. I've got to try and say that a few times. The reason that is because obviously the bigger the lens, the more light gets in, the better the picture. This does record in widescreen. Unfortunately, there's a bug, and so it doesn't display in widescreen unless you convert it. So I couldn't be bothered converting it because it does tend to drop frames and the sound goes out of sync. It's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, let's carry on. Because I'm not going to review this, I'm going to get rid of this and upgrade a little bit. The things I like about it, it's dead easy to use. As I said, I went running today, threw it in my pocket, got it out a few times, filmed little bits and pieces, filmed the sun coming up. Obviously with the sun straight at the lens, it got a little bit dark around the edges, but that's to be expected. There's very few cameras, especially at this price range, that would handle that type of thing. The microphone is excellent, as you can hear, which is quite rare for these types of cameras. It's got the light, it works as a webcam, it's got an 8 megapixel camera, takes some good pictures. What I don't like about it is you've got the digital zoom, 4x digital zoom. Used it outside, tested it, pictures weren't that good at full zoom. Half zoom, yes, it's acceptable. So if you need to use zoom, then you've got to try and find a camera that's got optical zoom rather than digital zoom. There's the problems I had with it, with the wrist strap. Another problem I had actually, that I almost forgot to mention, was this morning when I was out and it was very, very bright. The sun had come up and I was trying to film something. I had real trouble seeing the screen at the back because of the reflection from it. So be aware of that. If you're going to do a lot of filming outside in bright light, you might have a problem with the reflection. So I couldn't actually see what I was filming, so that was a bit of a downer. Overall, I give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. Great little camera. Hope to see it do quite well. And that's about it for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a few of the little videos I've done, and a few of the stills I've taken, so you get to see the quality, and I'll do a screen capture of the webcam. Hope you enjoyed that. Hi guys, here I am with Skype fired up, and here we can see video settings. Now all I've done now is got the Panasonic, and I've gone into menu and I've turned the webcam on. I've connected it to the GorillaPod and just basically used the GorillaPod to hang it over the top of my PC monitor. If you go to, there we go, start it straight up, and I can look up and look straight into the camera. But that's how good it is. It's very simple, works straight out. You can see it's up here, HM TA1 /SD, which is, I assume stands for SD card. Very simple webcam, probably a bit over-spec'd, really high quality, and yeah, I like it.